At what point did life start feeling different? Not worse, not better, but just different. I don't remember making a conscious decision about it. There wasn't a moment when I sat down and thought, oh yes, this is the new phase. It just crept up on me. Quietly, subtly, and in a strange way, took me by surprise. Somewhere along the way, time just started moving faster. Certain things stopped mattering. Other things in my life started to matter more than I expected. And I realised something quite unsettling. My life hadn't gone wrong, but it also wasn't unfolding in the way that I had expected. I try to never use the word plan. Unfolding in my life is a much more accurate description. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken, you're not failing, and you're definitely not alone. This video is about those moments. The ones no one really warns you about. The ones that creep up on you and leave you decidedly unsettled. One of the first places you may notice it is in your health. Not in a dramatic way, not like some form of crisis, but just small signals. Your body doesn't quite bounce back the way that it once did. Sunday morning football is definitely off the agenda. A poor night's sleep cost you a lot more than it once did. A tweak in your back, well, that becomes a thing. You start planning your day around your energy rather than the time that you have. I better walk the dog early because I might not be feeling it later. Mentally, something shifts too. You're still sharp, often sharper in some ways, but your tolerance drops. Noise, nonsense, people constantly talking and saying nothing. You notice you need more quiet, more recovery, more space to think. You have a lot less appetite for the routine and the mundane. And then there's the social side, right? Invitations thin out. Friendships don't disappear, but they just loosen off. And I suppose what surprised me the most is where these feelings show up. Not in the big moments, more in the boring places. You read the news differently. You feel oddly detached. You stop arguing. Not because you agree, but because you can't be bothered. Don't think this is apathy, because it's not. It's a personal triage put in place for your own sanity. Time changes shape. There are fewer of these thoughts when you say, one day I'm going to, and it becomes more about, oh, is this worth my Tuesday? Quietly, the world starts asking less of you, not rejecting you, just consulting you less. And that can feel like freedom. For me, it felt more like disorientation. But I'm sure for a few people it will feel like freedom and disorientation. All this starts us to question our relevance. Not because we don't understand the modern world, but because we've seen the same patterns repeat. New systems, new languages, new reorganizations. The Roman general Tacitus once observed that after decades and decades of reform, Rome often found itself back where it had started, but just rearranged. It's not that nothing is new, it's just that context gets lost. And some cultures structurally preserve relevance. Ours doesn't. In parts of Africa, grey hair marks you out as an elder, someone to be consulted and to be kept close, valued for perspective rather than speed. That contrast makes something clear. Feeling less relevant isn't just about age. It's about what a culture chooses to value. You begin to edit quietly. A few less opinions offered, fewer explanations given. You stop offering your relevance in a meeting to a room full of people that aren't listening. You realise that not every role is yours to fill. Not every conversation needs your voice. And that clarity can often bring some relief. Purpose can detach from being needed and reattach to what quietly feels really worthwhile to you. Life doesn't fall apart here. It slowly rearranges. You don't need to fix it. You don't need a plan. Just notice it.